Here's something nobody wants to admit out loud. A lot of women are tired of dating younger guys. Not because they're not attractive. They are, but because somewhere along the way, a bunch of basic habits that used to be standard issue got lost. Opening doors, making actual phone calls. Knowing how to hold a conversation without checking your phone every 30 seconds. Yeah, the good news for you guys over 40. You were raised when these things were still normal. And trust me, women, notice the difference. Here are 10 old school habits that make you stand out in the best possible way. 1. Actually calling instead of just texting. Let's start with the big one. Phone calls. Younger guys text everything. Plans, apologies, even breakups, but when you pick up the phone and actually call a woman, to ask her out, to check in, or just to hear her voice, that hits different. A phone call shows effort. It shows you're willing to be present and have a real conversation, not hide behind a screen. Women appreciate this because texting can feel lazy and impersonal. Especially when you're trying to build something real, you don't have to call for every little thing. Texts are fine for logistics, but when it matters, asking her out, apologizing for something, or just connecting, pick up the phone. She'll remember it. And honestly, most guys under 30 won't even consider it, which makes you look like you actually care. That's not old-fashioned, that's just being an adult. 2. Opening doors without making it weird. This one's simple, but somehow controversial. Now, opening a door for a woman isn't about treating her like she's helpless. It's about basic courtesy and awareness. You're walking into a restaurant. You're closer to the door. You open it and let her go first. That's it, no grand gesture. No waiting for applause, just a smooth, natural move that shows you were raised with manners. Younger guys either skip this completely or make it awkward by overthinking it. But when you do it casually, like it's second nature, women notice. Try it next time. Open the car door when she's getting in. Hold the restaurant door, pull out her chair, if the moment's right. Just do it naturally without commentary. If she thanks you or smiles, you just reminded her what it feels like to be treated well. And trust me, that's increasingly rare. 3. Dressing like an adult. Here's a harsh truth. A lot of younger guys dress like they just rolled out of bed. And they think it's a look. Hoodies, joggers, sneakers for every occasion. It's comfortable, sure, but it doesn't exactly scream, I have my life together, you. On the other hand, probably own actual pants. Maybe even a blazer. You know that jeans and a button-down shirt can work for most situations. And you understand that shoes matter. Women over 30 especially appreciate a man who looks like he's got his act together, and clothing is the fastest way to communicate that. You don't need to wear a suit everywhere, but putting in basic effort, clothes that fit, shoes that aren't falling apart. Maybe a watch sets you apart immediately. Younger guys are out here in graphic tees and Crocs, thinking they're doing something. You show up looking like you actually tried, and suddenly you're the most put-together guy in the room. That's an advantage, use it. 4. Planning the date instead of asking her to plan it. Let's talk about initiative. When you ask a woman out, you should already have a plan. Want to grab dinner at specific place on Friday at 7 beats, so, what do you want to do every single time? Women are exhausted by guys who expect them to do all the emotional and logistical labor. Planning a date, even a simple one, shows leadership, thoughtfulness, and that you're actually interested. Younger guys love to crowdsource decisions. Where do you want to go? What do you feel like eating? It's annoying, and it puts her in the position of managing the date. Before it even starts, you pick the place, set the time, and make it easy for her to just show up and enjoy herself. She can always suggest changes if she wants. But you took the initiative. That alone makes you more attractive than half the guys she's been dealing with. And if the place you pick is actually good, even better, but honestly, just having a plan at all puts you ahead. 5, showing up on time. This shouldn't even need to be said. But here we are showing up on time, or better yet, a few minutes early is a basic sign of respect. It says, I value your time. I'm reliable, and I'm not going to waste your evening. Younger guys have normalized being late. Showing up frazzled or texting, running 10 minutes behind every single time. Women hate it, it's disrespectful. And it sets a bad tone for everything that follows. When you show up on time, dressed well and ready to be present, you're already miles ahead. Punctuality signals maturity and reliability. 2 things that become increasingly attractive as women get older. And stop tolerating nonsense. If you say 7, be there at 6:55, that small habit alone will make her feel like you take her seriously. And in a world where everyone's perpetually late and blaming traffic, being the guy who shows up when he says he will, that's a power move. 6, actually listening instead of waiting to talk. Here's where you've got a built-in advantage over younger guys. Life experience has probably taught you that conversations aren't performances. Younger men tend to dominate conversations, talking about themselves, their achievements, their opinions, barely coming up for air. But you've learned that actually listening is way more powerful. When she's talking, you're not planning your next story. You're present, you're asking follow-up questions, you're engaged. Women feel this difference immediately. They're used to guys who treat conversations like podcast episodes, where they're the host. But when you give her space to talk, when you remember details she mentioned last time, when you ask thoughtful questions, she feels seen, and that's rare enough to be magnetic. Try this on your next date. Aim to listen 60% of the time. Let her talk, don't interrupt. Don't run up her stories, just be present and engaged. She'll leave that date feeling like she actually connected with someone. And that's what keeps her coming back. 7, paying for the first date without making it a thing. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. Paying for dates, yes. This is traditional, yes. Some people have opinions about it. Here's the reality on a first date. Offering to pay is a sign of interest, generosity, and that you're not keeping score from day one. You don't need to announce it. Make a big deal or expect anything in return. Just handle it smoothly. Younger guys either split everything immediately, Venmo request for their half, or make it awkward by debating who should pay you. You just take care of it if she offers to split. You can politely decline or let her get the next one. But that first date, cover it. It's a gesture that shows you're invested, and you're not approaching this like a business transaction. Women appreciate this not because they can't pay. They can, but because it signals you're willing to invest in getting to know them. And honestly, it's just classy. Old school may be effective, absolutely. 8, using proper grammar and spelling in texts. This one sounds small, but it's shockingly noticeable. When you text like an actual adult, full sentences, correct spelling, punctuation, you stand out. Younger guys, the text like they're trying to set a world record for fewest characters. YDK. LOL. It's lazy, and it makes communication feel low effort. When you text clearly and thoughtfully, it shows you respect her enough to communicate properly. You're not writing a novel, but you're also not texting like you're in middle school. Hey, how was your day? Beats a P every time I had a great time tonight. Let's do it again soon beats fun. HMU women notice the difference. It signals maturity and effort. You don't have to be formal, but basic grammar and complete thoughts go a long way. It's such a simple habit, but in a sea of you-up texts, you'll look like the only guy who actually finished high school. 9, following through on what you say you'll do. Here's another one that shouldn't be rare, but somehow is doing what you say you're going to do. If you say you'll call, you call. If you say you'll text, you text. If you make plans, you show up. Younger guys have normalized flaking, ghosting, and treating commitments like suggestions. Yeah, we should hang out sometime means absolutely nothing to them. But when you say something and then actually follow through, women notice it builds trust immediately. Reliability is attractive. Because it's increasingly rare, you become the guy she can count on. And that's a huge advantage. Make this a non-negotiable. If you say it, do it. If you can't commit, don't say it. That simple habit, keeping your word, will set you apart from 90% of the guys she's dealt with. And once she realizes you're someone who follows through, she'll stop wondering if you're serious and start seeing you as someone worth investing in. 10, making eye contact and staying off your phone. Final one, and it's embarrassingly simple. When you're with her, be with her. Put your phone away, make eye contact. Don't check notifications every 5 minutes, or scroll while she's talking. Younger guys are glued to their phones even on dates, and women hate it. It's disrespectful, and it kills any sense of connection. But when you sit across from her phone, face down or tucked away completely, and you give her your full attention, that's powerful. It says, you're more important than whatever's happening on my screen. Women feel that presence, and it makes them feel valued. Try this on your next date. Leave your phone in your pocket or face down on the table. Don't check it unless it's an emergency. Look at her when she talks. Be present if she mirrors that energy and puts her own phone away. You've created real connection, and in a world where everyone's half present and distracted, being fully there is one of the most attractive things you can do. So there you have it, 10 old-school habits that make you stand out. In a world full of guys who text WID at 2 till 8 a.m. and show up late in joggers, you were raised with these habits. Or at least you remember when they were normal. Use that advantage. These aren't outdated. They're timeless and women are craving them. Try even half of these and watch how differently you're treated. Drop a comment. Which of these do you already do? And if you found this helpful, subscribe. More reality checks coming your way.